You're looking for a triple bunk with a super slide, plenty of sleeping, high-end features, and great kitchen space? Then you're going to love the Alta 3150KBH. Welcome folks to the 2021 East to West Alta 3150KBH. Folks, this is a great floor plan. They do a lot of really unique things in here that I really think help bring a lot of different things together and make this a winning floor plan. Something that we've seen more lately in the last year or so that just hasn't really been a thing in bunk models is having your entertainment center directly across from the sofa. And they did it in a way here that I think works very well. So one of the things that I love when manufacturers do this is this right here. And if you notice, you have the door. So you walk right in. Take a look at this, folks. Right there, you have a spot to hang up your jacket. I love that they have this. You have plenty of room down below for your shoes. You have some additional storage space there too. So whether you want to put more shoes in there, if you want to put some baskets in there, if you're doing cold weather camping with scarves, things like that, you can do so, or whatever else you need to store. There's also a light in there with a motion sensor light, as there is right above your head as soon as you walk in. So if you want to shut off all the other lights, just leave this one on motion sensor. As soon as you walk in the camper, light pops on. That way you don't have to leave all your lights on. You can still see what's happening. I love when, again, when manufacturers do small things like that, just kind of helps show that they're thinking of you. But when you come around, as I mentioned, that entertainment center here, and that is directly across from the sofa. This is a tri-fold sofa, so this does fold out into a bed. If you need some additional sleeping, you have the space here. Pretty easy to do so. You simply take off these rear cushions. Very comfortable, by the way, I may add. I'm not sure. I think this might be Allure Manufacturing that they use for the furniture, but they do a great job. Very, very comfortable furniture. So we can lift this up like so. See, this folds out. Drop down the legs just like that, and then this folds down in the back, and this creates your sleeping space. A lot better than having a bar in your back or having an air mattress. But the other reason I wanted to fold this out and show you is this right here. Even with this fully extended, you will notice you still have a walkway. So if you need to get up in the middle of the night and walk by to use the bathroom, you can still do that. This doesn't block you off. So you can have guests here. They can watch a TV at night. They have a great view to it. And again, when it is folded up into couch form, of course, you have, as I mentioned, that excellent view too. While we're on the super slide, I'll hit a couple extra things. You'll notice the windows go all the way up to the top of the slide. Really helps open up this space. And you have a higher ceiling height. It's an 81-inch ceiling height in here as well. I'm 6 foot tall. You can see how much room I have. So if you're a taller person, this may be one that you're interested in. Not only do you have the big windows, but they also have roller shades, which work very well. Let me put this back on here. One of the things that a good friend of mine pointed out, one of the manufacturer reps that is a really smart guy, is that he talked about. Got to switch these around. You'll see they have little notch out there for the armrests. He talked about roller shades and just windows in general. We're starting to see a trend where manufacturers are getting rid of the arms, the lambrequins, I believe is the technical word. They're getting rid of them to try to go for more stylish residential look. They just use like a flat piece of trim. The problem when you do that is that it lets in light behind that curtain. When you have roller shades like this side is what blocks out all the rest of the light. So if you want privacy, if you want to actually block out the light, you're going to want these here because otherwise all that light is coming in. So just food for thought, something to think about. Moving over a little bit further, we get into the dinette. So the thing I like about this dinette is a couple things. One of them, I know a lot of people like U-shaped dinettes. If you've seen my videos, you know that I could go either way. I really like a standard dinette because you can comfortably sit 4 people here. It's easy to get in and out of. No one's stuck in the back. It doesn't make quite as big of a bed, but as far as this place to sit down, eat, play games, I personally like a standard dinette. You'll also see you have easy access storage to the drawers underneath. Pull this guy open, and look at that. That's a good sized drawer. A lot of manufacturers will give you about half this space. They give you a nice big full drawer with glides on there. It's not just pulling it out on wood. It's smooth operation in and out, and you have that on both sides. You also have an electrical outlet and USB port underneath the table. So if you need to plug in electronics, you can do that. And this table is fully removable. So what I like about this, you can pick this guy up. I'm gonna switch places with you here, Sam. So I'm gonna go right here. Take a look at this. So you just flip this switch, kind of put your feet on the feet of the table, and it just goes right down. Now take a look at what you have. You have yourself a coffee table right there. So it's kind of a 2-in-1, right? You drop it down, you have a coffee table. Now you can sit here. You want to, watch TV, you can do that. You can sit back and relax, sip on your coffee. I just love the versatility of the table itself. Back to the entertainment center, I do want to talk about the fact that underneath you have this big sound bar here as well. So not only do you have a great view to the TV, but it has this built-in sound bar for better sound quality. This one does have a couple zones, so you can control the speakers in here as well as outside. HDMI port, USB port on there, and then storage underneath if you have like a DVD collection or something like that. A little bit of storage up top. I like the glass they used. We'll see more of that in the kitchen. It's almost like a silver rain they put on there. I think it looks pretty nice. Speaking of the kitchen though, moving into that, you have the 12-volt Magic Chef refrigerator. I'll open that guy up for you. You can see all the space that you have in there. A lot of manufacturers are going to 12-volt just because it does cool down a lot quicker than your standard RV fridge. And if you have a big enough battery bank and enough solar, you can basically run these indefinitely off-grid, if you will, which is kind of a nice feature. You'll also see over here the countertops. So they used a seamless countertop instead of T-mold. A couple things I love about that. One is you don't have to worry about this popping off. With T-mold, this never seems to want to sit flat. It pops off a little bit. It looks ugly. Water gets in there. Your countertop starts to get damaged. It becomes an issue. You don't have to worry about that here. Also, it allows you to undermount the sink. If I take off this sink top cover, you will see the sink is undermounted, which not only looks nicer, but it's a lot easier for cleanup. And then the sink top cover itself is a cutting board. I always recommend only use one side as a cutting board, folks. It's one of those pro tips, if you will. The reason is, when you're done, you will always have one side that looks nice. I don't care what side you use. If you want the lip for, whatever you're cutting, if you're cutting meat and you kind of want that drain there, you can use this side as a cutting board and then just have this side up. That works too, but I recommend only cutting on one side. You will also see the high-rise faucet, kind of an industrial look, very nice looking faucet there. And look at this, you get a big countertop extension. So I talked about having a lot of space in here. This one certainly has it, blends in very well, just folds down when you don't need it. Speaking of down, take a look at this, folks. If you have animals, they're thought about too, right? They're not leaving them out. If you want to take your dog with you, great. You have a little chow dish right there, a little place for water. I like they threw that in there. Underneath the sink, this is another big one for me, they have a place for a trash can. I hate when I have to hang a trash bag on my pulls. This gives me a place to put it. It's out of sight. You don't have to worry about smelling it. I love that it's tucked away under there. Not one, not two, not three, but 4 full extension drawers here, folks. You have enough room for your flatware, towels, hot pads, your spatulas, everything you need in there. You also see the auxiliary lighting down below. You have that down below in your kitchen, as well as, if you take a look up top on the slide, you'll see it here too. So it kind of helps blend all of that together. You also use the Magic Chef cooktop here. So this one is recessed with the glass cover. Pull that up and back just like so. That'll open up your 3 burners, that front one being high output. Now, something I personally like about this one is this right here. You flip it up, it's a white light on the knobs instead of a blue. And when you flip it down, it's just the oven light. There are some other manufacturers on there where that's not the case, and I don't understand why. But if you flip it up, it's the knobs. If you flip it down, it's knobs and the oven light. But, maybe I just don't want the knobs lit up. Maybe I just want the oven light. So I think they at least did it right here. One of those super minor things. I know no one probably cares except for myself, but it's just one of those things that I like to point out. Right up top is the microwave. Of course, folks, this blue is naturally just a cover. There is chrome behind there. Don't be fooled by that. Underneath is your hood with the light and fan. And then you'll see big storage over there as well as additional storage here. So you do have plenty of room for cups, plates, bowls, everything else that you would need to store in your kitchen. Right up top is a vent fan. You do have the fan above the cooktop, but you have this one here too. It's just to kind of help if you're cooking bacon or something in here and you really need to get that smell out. Another thing along those lines, something that you don't always see is this right here. In the sides of the slide, you have windows that are functional. A lot of manufacturers, to save money, won't put windows in the sides of the slide at all, or sometimes if they do, they don't open. They're just to bring in natural light. But here they are functional, and the reason that's important is because you can open those up and you can get cross ventilation through that slide. So I do like when they actually put functional windows in there. Again, that is a big plus for me. Making our way back, a couple robe hooks right there. Let's take a look at the bathroom. So one of the things you'll notice right away is the sheer size of this bathroom. I mean, there is a lot of space in here. The thing I like about that is a lot of times you don't have a lot of space in your bedroom to get ready. And when we go up front, you'll see this one's no exception. There's a little bit of space there, but not a ton. But here, you actually have enough room you can comfortably get changed when you get out of the shower. You have a mirrored medicine cabinet there in the corner. Of course, electrical outlet, nice big sink here. Again, you know, they still went with the seamless countertops. They didn't cheap up and put in T-mold. You'll see underneath that some additional storage space. Good spot for your toilet paper, black tank chemicals. You have an entrance directly to the outside, and I like that as well because this way, if you need to use the bathroom, you can come in, use the toilet, and head right back out. The shower is a neo-angle shower, folks. I talked about those high ceiling heights. Take a look at this. Again, I am 6 foot tall. There's a big skylight in here. That's another thing. The skylight covers basically the whole shower. A lot of times manufacturers put a skylight in. It's just a small little one, but they made this not just for light, but to give you even more headspace. So if you're a taller person, then Alta is probably one you will want to consider. They also have the doors in the roller track, so that way when you're done showering, all the water goes right down to the shower pan instead of all over the floor. Toilet right here. I'll take a seat. As I mentioned, folks, I'm 6 foot tall. I have plenty of leg room. It is a little tight on my shoulders. Now, I'm a little bit more broad in the shoulders than some people, but it is a little tight. So, you know, that is one thing you might have to just kind of to test fit, if you will. You know, maybe you need to lean forward so you kind of get the angle of the shower there. Not that you plan on spending a bunch of time there, but it's one of those things that I always look at because sometimes, you know, in certain models, it can be very tight. Then making our way back into the bunk room because, of course, at its core, that's what this unit is. Now, you will see right over here, you have the top bunk. The thing I like about this one, I'll show you in a second, if we remove this cushion, I'm just going to toss this right over here for now. What we can do is this one will lift up, goes all the way up, nice, easy, automatic latch. Now, the reason I like this one is because if you notice, it is all the way back. So when I sit on this sofa, as an adult, I can actually sit here. A lot of manufacturers will put like locks right here, and so you have the bed that comes up and you can't really lean back. This gives you the full ability to actually lean back, which I certainly enjoy. Another thing that's really cool, I talked about having nicer furniture, something you don't normally see. This is a Jackknife Sofa, but take a look at that. You have an incliner, so I can sit here. I have a footrest. Right across from me is a TV. So that, you know, maybe it's not kids. Maybe you have the in-laws or something like that staying here. Maybe you just want the kids to have a comfortable place. Maybe they're a little bit older. They're teenagers. They want to bring their Xbox or PlayStation. They can sit here and do exactly that. It's nice and easy to put that away. Both sides will have that. And again, it is a Jackknife Sofa, so this does fold down into a bed. And as you will see, you get the storage underneath. You didn't lose anything there. Across the way, the ladder to get up into the top bunk there. As you can see, this top bunk is a little bit wider than the other side. Of course, spot for a TV, a little bit of storage on both sides there, as well as down below. The window in the back lets some natural light come in, and of course, that is also an emergency exit. Then, as I mentioned, if you want a TV, it'll be right there in the center. Before we head up into the bedroom, I do just want to show you this. There's a vent here, but more importantly, that is pre-wired for a second AC. So if you want a second unit in here, it's already braced for it, it's pre-wired for it, you'll be good to go. Coming up into the master bedroom, you have the big kind of farm-style doors here. You know, it just looks nice and enticing and open and makes you feel like you're walking into a master bedroom. But of course, it's doors as well, so you do have that additional privacy, just like you had a door in the bunk room, which is good, because I stay up later than my kids. I like having a door, not a curtain. And as you can see here, folks, you get a camper king-size bed, so nice and wide, plenty of room for two people. That way you're not sleeping on top of each other. I mean, not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying having that extra space can be really helpful. On both sides, you will notice your wardrobes. You have hanging space, storage across the top there, electrical outlets, and if you want a TV, you'll notice right up on the wall, there is also a spot for a TV there. The connections are on the same wall that the door is located on. With the slide closed up, you will notice the refrigerator has full access. That can swing all the way open, so you can get in there, make a sandwich if you need to pull over on the side of the road. Clearly, you still have full access to the freezer as well. Now, you will also notice that the bathroom is blocked off, but if you remember, I talked about that second entrance into the bathroom, and another reason it's so important in this floor plan is exactly that reason. If If you need to pull over and use the bathroom, you can do so. Just walk right into that second entrance. You have full access to that bathroom. You're good to go. And if we flip it around and take a look up front, you will also see that you have great access to the bedroom. No issues whatsoever if you need to take a nap. Now that we've seen the inside, let's take a look at some of the amazing features on the outside of the East to West Alta 3150KBH. Up front, this unit has a power tongue jack, making it a lot easier to hook up and disconnect from your tow vehicle. There's also a light right there for added visibility at night, and a manual override in the rare event the motor fails. Behind that are two 20-pound propane tanks with a cover, and you will also see the brackets there so you have a place for your battery. Coming up the front is diamond plating, which protects the front end from rocks and debris that may get thrown up by your tow vehicle, and the beautiful 3/4 front cap. I like this right here. It kind of gives it almost like a faux windshield look, but it really makes the front cap stand out. And then you have the clean white LEDs on both sides, again, just giving it a very clean exterior look all around. One of the things that it's very, very cool on the Alta is the exterior storage. So a couple things. One, you'll see it is a magnetic catch. Also, it is a slam latch. If I open that up, look how much space you have there. Look how tall that is. So if you have some of those really tall items, you can easily fit them in there. Now, they're able to accomplish this because if you drop down underneath, you will see this one has something that you often only see on fifth wheels, and that is the drop frame. So you can see that right there. A couple more things while we're down here that I want to show you. One is the Outriggers. You can see these come out. You have the full Outriggers. So that way the weight of the wall is lying on those, helping to support the unit itself. It's not just overhanging. You will also notice this one has a fully enclosed and insulated underbelly, and you have huck bolts. So a lot of great features down there. Excellent construction methods. Lets you camp, in some of the colder climates, keeps out that road and grime. And of course, the huck bolts will help reduce the starting of weld points for your frame. Large power awning. One of the things you'll also notice is the power awning is able to cover both doors. That's a pretty big deal for a lot of people. Just touch a button to roll that out. Same thing to roll right back in. Super simple and easy to use. The main entrance right here has your more ride step above steps. Excellent step system. Aluminum treads. So that way you don't have to worry about it rusting. You can see, I'm over 200 pounds. The steps don't move when I walk up and down them. Very sturdy. You have the larger grab handle here for excellent control, and then adjustable feet so you can adjust it to your campsite. As far as the construction itself, a couple things I really like here. One of them is behind this fiberglass skin is Azdel composite. If you're new to the industry and you're not sure what that is, it does a couple things. So most manufacturers use what's called Luan, which is a wood substrate. And the problem with Luan, when you have it talking about a fiberglass unit, is if water gets in there, you get what's called delamination. And that's where, if you've ever seen the fiberglass, you'll see the big bubbles on it, right? A bunch of bubbles. That's called delamination, where the glue from the fiberglass separates from the wood because the wood basically rotted out behind it. However, the Azdel doesn't absorb moisture. It won't absorb water. So that helps greatly eliminate any kind of delamination. Also, it is a lighter material. Anytime we're talking about towing something, the lighter, the better. So that will help save some weight. And it's also a green material, so you don't have that off-gassing, especially if you're sensitive to those smells. If you have bad allergies, you will appreciate that Azdel substrate. Right here is your electrical outlet, so that way if you need to plug anything in, you can do so. Lion's Head tires on there. 5-year warranty on the Radial ST tires, folks. That's a pretty big deal. That's one of the reasons we buy new is for warranties. Having 5-year on your tires is great. Right up top, this is that big window. I forgot to point that out when we were in the kitchen, but you have that huge window. Really helps light up that kitchen. Couple exterior speakers controlled by that multimedia center inside, that sound bar we saw. That is the second zone. This right here is a secondary entrance into the bathroom. I talked about if you needed to get into the bathroom, if you need to pull over and do so, this gives you the ability to do it. And as I said, you have full access right there. You have the fold-out steps here, but they do also have the aluminum treads. So again, less chance, or actually it won't, those won't rust on you. And you have the grip tape there, to have a little extra traction when entering or exiting. One of my favorite parts, though, is this back outside kitchen. Folks, I absolutely love what they have done with this outside kitchen. You'll notice the recessed TV. So if you want to sit out here and watch the game, it's fully contained. So what that means is you don't have to mess with it. A lot of manufacturers will put the TV on the sidewall, which is fine, but if you want to watch TV, you have to grab the TV, you have to hook it up. When you're done with it, you got to take it down, you got to take it inside so it's not getting rained on. Here, fully contained, you don't have to worry about it. Pop it open, you are good to go. It also has a larger refrigerator, which again is a big deal to me because I like to have a lot of beverages out here. It's easy to grab, and when I'm camping, I tend to consume a fair number of beverages, but it's also good for condiments, everything else there. Again, they went with the upgraded countertop. They could have went with T-mold to save some money, but they wanted to keep quality throughout the unit. So you have that seamless countertop here and an American stone cast sink. This is a upgraded sink as well. A lot of manufacturers use a cheaper, a plastic sink, but the American stone cast is an excellent sink, has very high scratch resistance as well as heat resistance, so it's not going to get any burn marks or anything in there. And instead of a standard cooktop, they went with the Capital Grill, and I really like this one too because I generally grill food. I don't, use a cooktop while I'm outside. So I love that this is here. Of course, the propane quick connect for that's right underneath. You have the extra drawer space. You have a couple USB ports. Get a light out there. I absolutely love the outside kitchen on this unit. If you need water access, you will also see the spray port right back here, square tubular bumper that does come with end caps so you can store your sewer hose. Your spare tire is mounted to that as well. Probably one of the easiest places to get to it is right back there. You don't have to crawl down underneath the camper. Comes with a ladder, and you know what that means. If it has a ladder, it means it has a fully walkable roof, so you can get up there and easily be able to clean off the roof. Now, with that, I just want to say this quick tidbit. I've told people before, when I say if it has a ladder, it means it has a walkable roof. That is true. But the absence of a ladder doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't have a walkable roof. You'll always want to check because some manufacturers won't put a ladder on there. It'll just be prepped for it, but it still has a fully walkable roof. So if you're ever in question, just give us a shout here at Camping World. We'll be able to help you out with that. But this one certainly does. You can get up there, as I mentioned, for any kind of maintenance, clean everything off, super easy. You also see backup camera prep right there in the center. That way, if you do want a backup camera, having that prep makes it a lot easier to install, meaning it'll save you some hard-earned cash on labor. Black tank flush, super convenient feature there. Instead of sticking a hose down your toilet to wash out your black tank, you hook it up right there. It has sprayers built in, washes everything out. 50 amp detachable power cord, of course, because as you saw inside, we had that second AC prep. And the last thing I want to hit on, well, a couple things actually. One is this right here, and this one has power stabilizer jacks. Now these are the BAL jacks, and the reason I really like this system is if you notice, you have two controls here, but if you look up front, you will see two more controls right up there. So what that means is each jack is individually controlled. A lot of the other systems, you'll have one for both the rear and one for both the front, and you can't quite get them the way you want it. Here it is, they're all individual, and you can get them exactly the way you want it to be. Another thing I like, and again, a small feature, but I love that they did it, and that's they give you a light right here at your termination. I don't know about you folks watching, but myself personally, if I get to go camping, when I'm setting up, a lot of times I'm coming after work, and sometimes it's later in the evening, and we need to be able to see, so I can go there, can see when I'm hooking up. If you're leaving at night, you can see if you have to dump in the middle of the night, you're able to see there as well. And I know it's one of those small features. It's not going to be oh man, there's a light there, now I really want this unit. But again, it just goes to show that the manufacturers actually have camping experience and they're thinking about you. Solar prep, I know that's a big deal for a lot of people. If you want solar, this one does have the prep for it. And lastly, as I sneak right into here, you will see this switch right here controls those LED lights we saw on the front cap. You also see your electrical outlet, cable and satellite there, battery disconnect, fresh and city water inlets are located right there. You have a light, again, with a motion sensor, and then you will also see your outside shower there with both hot and cold water access and a little drain in case your hose does leak. All right, folks, and that wraps it up. Again, this is the 2021 East to West Alta 3150KBH. If you're interested in this beautiful family model, you're looking for 4-season capability, you love the layout, all you have to do for price and availability is click on the link in the description. Because what that does is it will show you the closest available model, get you the pricing that you're gonna want, and get you on the road to camping either this winter or maybe next spring. But all right, folks, that wraps it up for me. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.